Hey, Battle Bill here with another video, and today we're going to get into some Silph Arena battles. It's been a little while. I've been doing a lot of Go Battle League recently. I plan to cover more content on Voyager Cup, but I ended up doing less battles in it than I was expecting to, and Voyager Cup is coming to a close. It's not over yet, but the way Silph does it is they announce their new cup before the current cup is finished, so we're gonna actually start talking about Forest Cup. I've done my regionals, I've done my my weighted Voyager Cup, so I will have a video on my regionals run and how well I ended up doing. We'll talk about that in that video. But today I want to move on to Forest Cup, and I have some of my first battles and my first just ideas of the meta that we're running into. What I like to do in a new cup is I like to put together a 6, even though I really have like no idea what the meta is going to be like. So I've got a set of 5 battles here against my friend D-Hack, and in my 6 a few of the Pokemon are Galvantula, Shiftry, and Mantine, and that's the team I'm running with here. I got a Galvantula lead on my opponent's Quagsire. Gotta get that out right away. I've talked about Galvantula a bunch in my Go Battle League videos, and you definitely don't want to be going up against a Mudboy. This battle is not off to a great start. I switched to my Mantine, and he matches me with his Galvantula. Now, Mantine's was the top-ranked Pokemon for Forest Cup until the Elite TM update, where now Blaziken has more of a chance of running Stone Edge on it, and now Blaziken's actually the top choice for Forest Cup, which I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really see Blaziken as that great of an option, actually. And in this video, I think I was running Blaziken a little bit as a part of my 6. Because like I said, what I like to do is I like to come up with a 6, not knowing what the meta is going to be like at all, and then I like to run with it, see how many mistakes I've made after I spent about 300, 400,000 Stardust on all the Pokemon I just made that 6 of, and then go and spend more Stardust on the Pokemon I'm going to actually use. But yeah, these battles, they go all right. I have some wins, I have some losses, but I see some clear weaknesses in this current 6. I've already made changes to it, but it's definitely important to just do as many matches as you can, especially in a new cup, just to really get a feel for certain Pokemon and what kind of play they're going to get. And then even as the meta develops, there's always going to be spice picks. I've definitely seen a lot of top trainers making spice picks happen, even though some metas really seem cut and dry. The really good trainers, if you're playing enough, will find those little routes and avenues for the spice options to have some play. But let's talk more about these battles. Like I said, it wasn't going so well. His Quagsire is actually running Sludge Bomb, and I shield it with my Shiftry. My Shiftry's going to come in and throw his Leaf Blade. I don't even remember the shielding situation here, but a Leaf Blade would one-shot the Quagsire like it just did. He actually had 1 shield left. So I guess he knew that. He has Blaziken in the back, so now I just finished talking all that smack about Blaziken, and now it's going to make me eat my words. But that's okay, because this match, like I said, was really off to a poor start to begin with. Blaziken definitely is a great matchup against Shiftry, because of the fact that Shiftry is a dark type, and even if I have my shields, he doesn't need to land the charge moves in order for his Blaziken to do solid damage to my Shiftry and essentially take it out. So, first match is over already, and not off to the best start, lost the first match, but it's okay, it's practice. I'm just trying to get a feel for the meta, I'm just trying to get an idea of what Pokemon I like working together. So, I'm going to pull up my team actually, and we'll talk more about my 6 I came up with. I have Mantine, Galvantula, Blaziken, Heracross, Shiftry, and Stunfisk. So like I said, I was actually running Blaziken in my first practice battles, and actually my 6 hasn't changed too much from this. I only dropped Blaziken after this. So we'll get more into why I don't like it, but again, I could just be completely wrong. The meta just got introduced, so who knows how it's going to play out. We start the next match, and I have a lead of Heracross on Jumpluff. So, you know, things were bad in the first match, gets even worse here. Jumpluff, solid option for this Forest Cup. I actually really like it, I just don't have a good one to power up. I'm pretty confident, I could be wrong here. I think you need a Hundo Jumpluff, just so, like, because it maxes out around that 1500 range. And essentially it serves as, like, a similar option to Tropius, because in the Forest Cup, Tropius is actually banned. And Jumpluff has that flying and grass typing. And it also has access to Bullet Seed, which was newly upgraded to charge energy a lot faster. And it has access to Aerial Ace and Energy Bowl. So it doesn't have a quick grass move like Tropius does, where Tropius has Leaf Blade. But that access to Energy Ball still gives it a very strong grass move to take out those water types. And then just having that flying typing is important because it's a flying typing with a grass typing. So the electrics in the Forest Cup aren't even going to be able to deal super effective damage because grass resists, so it counteracts and makes it neutral damage. But anyhow, let's get back into the battles. I keep on getting sidetracked. I do like to talk about the meta a lot. I'd love to give the play-by-play, but it's important we really just start to learn as much as we possibly can about the meta as we continue practicing. So he's got his Kingdra going for a charge move here. Ends up being Octazooka. I let it go through because I know the Dragon Breaths are going to take me out regardless. And I'm hoping that I can get some energy, I'm pretty sure on my Shift Tree, because I brought two things here that are super weak to that jump bluff. Like, these were blind battles. I have a 6, but I didn't show him my 6. He didn't have a 6 ready, which, again, beginning of the meta, completely understandable. So I had no idea what to expect from his teams of 3. And honestly, I learned a lot just from battling him, just with certain spice, well, not even spice, but certain Pokemon that he brought that I didn't expect, like a Jump Pluff, like a Kingdra. Those are solid mons for this Forest Cup so far. I land that Foul Play. He's going for his charge move, and then you'll see how Jump Pluff is a solid grass option because it can really deal with all the other grass types. That Aerial Ace practically took out my Shift Tree. It doesn't help Shift Tree super glassy, but still, it's super effective damage. Now I'm going for a Foul Play here because at least this will deal neutral damage. If I were to throw the Leaf Blade, that would have dealt not very effective damage because the flying typing resists. And actually might have been double not very effective because grass type probably resists too. But now he's going for his charge move, and he's going to finish off my Shift Tree. And I'm going to bring in my Heracross, and it's not looking too great. My counters are going to be resisted, and then on top of it, he has a Stunfisk in the back, which is dealing neutral damage to my Heracross, but Stunfisk is a bulky Pokemon. As you've seen in my Go Battle League videos, Stunfisk, very solid option to run just in main Great League meta, and this Forest Cup, it's definitely going to have some play. The goal here when I'm running Heracross is to charge up 2 close combats. You'll notice I overfarmed like crazy dealing those counters, because when you throw a close combat, it's going to nerf your defense. So if you throw one, nerf your defense, charge up to another, their quick moves are dealing more damage to you as you charge up to a second close combat. So you really want to make sure you charge up 2 of them on a Heracross, almost in every single situation, unless it's like end game and you just need to race to that close combat. But I already know this match is lost because once the Jump Bluff comes in, it's going to finish off my Heracross. But I'm playing it out just to get an idea of how much close combat would do to the Stunfisk. Takes it out at like 2/3 health. And then his, actually, oh, I kept this close. Oh, I won that match. I probably should have been paying better attention because I have no idea how I pulled that one off. I was talking so much about the meta that I don't even know what I did to get out of that bad lead situation and then counter down his Jump Bluff. Huh, solid. Good work to me. Sorry, I should have, there's so much to talk about with the meta. So I want to make sure as I talk about the matches, I talk about the meta too, because of just like all the diversity. Actually, let me get more specific about the Forest Cup meta. The Pokemon that you're allowed to use are only Fire, Water, Grass, Electric, Bug from Generations 2, 3, 4, and 5. And Genesect is banned, Shadow Pokemon are banned, which I found interesting. I wonder why. And Tropius is banned, like I mentioned earlier. So again, as I continue trying to give the play-by-play, I want to talk about the meta too, but let's get into this next match. I have the Blaziken on his Feraligatr. Feraligatr is not even a Pokemon I considered to use for Forest Cup. I'm going for a Blaze Kick here. It would deal, I'm pretty sure it's not very effective. Feraligatr is not actually an ice type. I think the water resists it. But regardless, his Feraligatr is running Ice Fang, which is dealing not very effective damage to my Blaziken. And also, the Ice Fangs take forever to charge up. So Blaziken, even though it's a fire type, can actually win out this matchup against Feraligatr because of, I don't want to say Ice Fang's a bad move, but it definitely doesn't help Feraligatr against the things it's super effective against, because it's super effective against fire, and Ice Fang is going to deal resisted damage. But anyhow, he brings in the Galvantula. I go for the Blaze Kick because my counters are dealing not very effective damage because it's a bug type. Blaze Kick would do solid damage because Galvantula's glassy, but he had a shield. He used it. He's going for another charge move here. I'm totally okay with letting this discharge go through. It's going to take me out. Blaziken had done plenty. So now I have Mantine and my own Galvantula in the back, so that means I definitely need to go Galvantula. Mantine is a water and flying type, which means it's taking double super effective damage from each of those Volt Switches, and those Volt Switches are strong. he pulls a solid switch in there, and he brings in Fortress, another Pokemon I had not considered for this Forest Cup. So it's really great to do these blind battles. Like I said, it's our first introduction to the meta. I know I definitely want to bring in Mantine here because I don't want my Mantine going up against his Galvantula. I'm not even sure how the Galvantula Fortress matchup would play out, but I'm not going to find out here because I definitely don't want Mantine on his Galvantula. He throws a Mirror Shot there, which I found interesting. It lowered my attack. It has a good chance of debuffing, but it does such minimal damage that I can continue my wing attacks and also throw my own debuffing attack and Bubble Beam that will start to slowly eat away at him. And I still have my shield. What I think my opponent, my friend here, should have been running on his Fortress. Honestly, I haven't checked what PvPoke says, but I think you really want Rock Tomb on it. He has 2 debuffing moves in Sand Tomb and Mirror Shot, both of which are going to do such minimal damage that having something like Fortress in the back with those kinds of moves really isn't going to help you in the long run. Even my Bubble Beams are doing more damage to his Fortress than either of his debuffing moves. He does kill out the Switch Timer though, and he brings in his Galvantula and goes for the charge move right away. I'm okay though. That Fortress is practically done. It's not going to do a lot of damage. Why did I do that? I don't know why I shielded that. That was such a weird shield. I have no idea why I shielded that. I should have let my Mantine go down or bring in Galvantula with the shield and taking out his Galvantula. But whatever. I bring in mine now. Lost the shield. Take this discharge. It gets me low. My Mantine has energy in the back. His Fortress is almost done though, and if he takes out my Galvantula, at least the Mantine could then finish off the Fortress. I don't know. I made this match closer than it probably needed to be. My discharge takes out his Galvantula. He brings in a Fortress. I throw another Volt Switch. Ends up taking it out. I win the matchup anyway, but that was still some sloppy play on my end, to be honest. But now in this set, I'm actually 2-1, so not bad for some practice. And you'll notice I'm getting close to 3,600 Great League wins. I'm actually like way past this. This video is from like 2 days ago. I've been just so hyped about Great League being back and Go Battle League, so I had really just jumped on the train. I'm putting out as much content, especially because I love that double electric team I came up with for Go Battle League, but we're not talking about that here, sorry. So anyhow, next battle. I decided to lead with Stunfisk, and I wasn't paying attention, so I have no idea what's in the back. We have a Stunfisk mirror match here, but you'll notice something different between our 2 Stunfisks. I'm dealing not very effective damage to him, and he's dealing super effective damage to mine, because his Stunfisk is actually running Mud Shot, and mine's running Thunder Shock. So his quick moves are doing a little bit more damage, but my Stunfisk has such poor IVs that I'm going to win the CMP ties here. And even though he's dealing that super effective damage to me with his Mud Shots, notice how I get in the yellow quicker, it's not going to make enough of a difference in the mirror for it to be worth running the Mud Shot. You really want to have that Thunder Shock because Mantine is supposed to be so high up in the meta and other water types are going to be all over the place. So it's important to have that. There aren't as many fire types, and the Mud Bombs usually do enough to those fire types. But he goes for a Mud Bomb here. I decide to shield it. And now it just essentially becomes a race to the next charge move, and he actually pulls off the swap, which I found interesting. Because I'd used a shield. He hadn't used any shields, so we probably could have sold one out that matchup. Maybe the Mud Shots did make a big difference. I'm learning. I'm learning just like you guys are. Because this, like I said, Forest Cup, new meta to me, but he switched in Shift Tree, which definitely was a mistake because I have a Heracross in the back, and Heracross is just going to completely wall this Shift Tree. Heracross is pretty glassy, so even though that foul play is resisted, it does about 45% to 50% of my health. But I'm able to counter it down. I have a bunch of energy, and again, my plan with Heracross, depending on what he brings in, is to keep on countering and then throw 2 close combats back to back. Want to hear something interesting, which I ran the Sims on PvPoke, and they blew my mind? If this was a lead matchup and I had Heracross on Blaziken, even though Blaziken's a fire type, and those fire moves deal super effective damage to my Heracross, I still win the lead situation as long as I use 1 shield, because my counters alone can take down a Blaziken all the way. And that's one of the issues that I don't like with Blaziken. He decides to shield. He has 2 shields here. I'm sorry, let me get back to some more commentary. And I go straight for the second close combat. This wasn't a lead situation, so obviously his Blaziken is going to win this one out because I had way less health. So I decided to go for the swap, and I didn't have too much of a chance in this matchup to begin with. My Stunfisk was almost dead, so if I would have brought in Stunfisk, it would have gotten farmed down. So I threw in my Shift Tree there, and it kind of just like ate a Blast Burn. And now I bring in my Stunfisk, hoping his energy is out, hoping I can Thunder Shock down because that's my only play. And I just barely get the Thunder Shock in. And hopefully my memory serves me correct and I know what he has in the back. I think it's his own Stunfisk, so I went immediately for the Mud Bomb. And we're going to find out for sure if it was, because I keep on getting sidetracked. It was, and my Mud Bomb ends up taking it out, and I win the fourth match. So now I'm 3-1. But anyhow, let's get back into that Heracross and Blaziken matchup. If they're both the lead Pokemon, and this is why, one of the reasons, not the only reason, but one of the reasons why I don't like Blaziken in this cup is because its quick move is Counter. Counter is usually a great move, but specifically based on the fire, water, electric, grass, bug typing of this cup, you really want to have that quick move fire damage for all those grass types and all those bug types. By Blaziken having Counter, every bug it would usually be super effective with, it still is with its charge moves, but all those counter quick moves are going to deal not very effective damage. So, and on top of the fact that Blaziken's glassy, in that Heracross Blaziken lead matchup, I can literally counter it down, charge up to 2 close combats, and shield 1 Blaze Kick, and the Blaziken can't get to another charge move in time before it gets taken down. And then I'm fueled up for whatever he's got in the back, and he's got to pray he has some sort of flyer so it can eat 2 close combats, and even then, those close combats do solid damage. So, getting into the last matchup of the set, we end up on a Mantine Mirror match, which is interesting. I have no idea how to properly play this one out. So I go for the Bubble Beam. I always assume debuff's a good idea at first, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't mirror me, and I'm pretty sure he goes for the Aerial... Oh no, he goes for a Bubble Beam. Maybe it's because... Oh, okay. Because I know I end up looking like I'm going to win out this matchup, and I think it might be because of the fact that he took so long to throw his Bubble Beam. My extra quick moves, my wing attacks, weren't dealing reduced damage because he took so long, so they ended up adding up a little bit. So I go for that Aerial Ace there. I got him in the yellow. I decide I don't want to shield discharge move either. It ends up being his own Aerial Ace, and you'll notice that after I've thrown a Bubble Beam and an Aerial Ace, and after he's thrown a Bubble Beam and an Aerial Ace, actually we're about at the same health. Maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about. Why are you watching my videos? Let me stop. I appreciate you guys for watching my videos as I figure out this meta. I'm learning it just like you guys are. He goes for a Bubble Beam there, and that's the difference in this matchup. I decide not to go for another Bubble Beam. I go for another Aerial Ace, even though it's been 2 times nerfed, and that gets him low enough that I should be able to quick move him down. Oh my god, I really don't remember this match. He gets to the Bubble Beam, and I decide to shield this. That's what I ended up doing. Okay, that's why I won out this match. That makes sense. But at least I'm like locked and loaded. The issue is my Mantine is like 3 times nerfed, so no matter what comes in, I'm not going to do a lot of damage to it, but I still have my own Bubble Beam, and as much as it's not going to hurt, it will nerf whatever he decides to bring in, which in this case ends up being, I don't know, we'll find out when this lag stops. Ends up being Galvantula. So his Galvantula was going to slaughter my Mantine no matter what. Luckily I got to that Bubble Beam. And I know my hard counter option here is to bring in my own Stunfisk. Because it has that ground typing and it's an electric type, it actually like triple resists every single electric move that the Stunfisk is, the Galvantula is throwing. So the Galvantula's only real play in this situation against the Stunfisk is to throw the Bug Buzzles. Luckily, I guess, for the Galvantula is that it has the Bug typing, so when I throw my Mud Bombs, they're neutral and not super effective. And then I just pulled a blind swap there. I had no idea what his other Pokemon was. I just knew I wanted Stunfisk on Galvantula. So when he brought in the Pokemon, I was like, Blaziken's got to come in. He goes for a charge move. I decide to shield it because I'm at a charge move. He gets a Stone Edge off, and I'm going to go for the Blaze Kick here. And I guess this is one of the more positive situations to having counter on Blaziken, because if you had Fire Spin instead, then everything you're doing is not very effective, and at least these counters add up on the Blaziken. So I guess this is maybe one situation where it would be a positive to have it. But I guess when I have my fire types, my main objective for my fire types is to take out my grass and my bug types. I don't want it to be able to just deal neutral damage to my water types. That doesn't really seem very helpful. But regardless, I end up Thunder Shocking his Quagsire down, luckily. But he has 2 shields with a Galvantula, and I have no shields with my Stunfisk. But I do have energy. He has energy too, which means he went immediately for the Bug Buzz. And this essentially becomes a race, but it's not looking like a race I'm going to win because of the fact that he has 2 shields. But I like to play out these matchups anyway, and just try to learn from it, see how close my Stunfisk can get his Galvantula down. Galvantula does have super low health, and I am at another Mud Bomb already. So, and he's only gotten 1 Volt Switch through. you need 4-volt switches to get to a bug buzz. So I doubt it. That's the second one. One more is coming through, and oh, I got to the mud bomb? Huh. I must have miscounted though. That must have been 4, or he had residual energy, and he's going for the bug buzz anyway, and he ends up beating me. But like I said, way closer than you would have expected. I got all the way to the mud bomb, and if Stunfisk didn't lose a CMP against Galvantula, because Galvantula is high attack, whereas Stunfisk is more tanky, it was actually closer than I would have expected. So that was my first set of Forest Cup battles there. In a set of 5, I ended up winning 3 out of those 5 battles, but that don't really mean too much. He didn't know my team, I didn't know his team. What was important was just seeing certain options, seeing those spice picks he was using, so that was definitely appreciated. I'll leave an image of the 6 Pokemon I was playing around with. It's changed a little bit. I changed Blaziken the cast form to have that actual fire damage coming from the quick move and the Weather Ball charge move, and my team is still pretty weak to Stunfisk and Jumpluff, so I need to still make further changes to the team. But again, I'm happy to rewatch these battles with you guys because it reminded me of certain matchups that when you're actually playing and practicing go by a lot quicker and you might not realize everything. So that's something maybe I would recommend if you want to take your Silph battles more seriously, or even for your Go Battle League battles, because you only get 25 of them in a day, so you might not see matchups over and over again to really learn them. But if you record your matches and then watch them again later, you can get definitely some good information out of that. But overall, let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know what you think of my team of 6. I mean, like I said, I made some changes. But if there are any specific Pokemon that fit the meta description for Forest Cup, let me know. Maybe I'll test it out. I'll play around with it, especially as I'm still figuring out my 6. I definitely don't mind coming up with some spice. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. I've been getting a little bit more of that recently than usual, and I really appreciate it. It means a lot. I'm enjoying putting out this content, like I probably said over and over again if you're really watching my videos. But I appreciate all the feedback, and if there's anything you want to see from me, let me know. I definitely am going to work on, making a nicer format than what I got going on here. But this was something that kind of started off as a hobby, and I'm really enjoying it, and I'm just going to continue with it and try and improve as I go on. Anyhow, you guys don't care about that. I'll see you all in the next video.